background about myself, then I'll start the talk that today, I wanted to mostly talk about. So basically, I graduated in back in 2018 from Delhi Technological University, and straight out of the college, I started working on my own startup. That's about a hardware security product to secure your crypto assets, right? And so the company is called cypherrock.com, and currently it's in autopilot state. I mean, it's more than 10 years now, around 20 from 2018, like more than 5 years, right? And so yeah, currently I'm exploring new ideas, and robotics and AI is something currently I'm focused around. So that's what I talk about today mainly. But yeah, before that, I wanted to talk about what's the current scenario that is happening with India about the deep tech space, right? Robotics, AI, and other deep tech stuff, right? Okay. So you got to Okay, so you guys might remember there was a talk in 2025 when Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he arrived in Delhi and he was giving talk around AI. And the investors and the founder group from India, they asked a question to Sam Altman, right? Let's say there's a bunch of engineers, Indian engineers, and let's say you have $1 million or $3 million. Can someone like that group build AI which can compete at world level, right? So the simple answer from Sam Altman was it's hopeless, right? It's hopeless to compete with us. That's OpenAI, right? So I've been thinking why that is a scenario, right? And that's a very big problem. So current condition is we builders, we do not even think about going into deep tech domain like robots, AI, and all those stuff, right? And that's a very big problem that we have to solve. If I talk about the history, so we are not the top in different domains. If I talk about fighter jets, space tech, and AI in general, we have been losing. We are not the top. We might not be top 3 as well, right? If I talk about technological development, right? So that's a very big problem that I believe that has to be solved. So recently there was another thing where there was in Delhi itself there was a university, I'll not say the name. So it was a AI robotics kind of event, and that university presented Chinese robot, right? And they do not specifically say that this is what they have built, but ultimately the global news that was common around the world that Indian university is saying that they have built this solution, and that went pretty viral, right? So we have to solve these things. Currently, what I believe we founders do not even think about doing this type of stuff, which China is excelling about, and even US and the other Western players are getting good at. So basically, what I think is how could we solve this problem? So we have, if I talk about some weaknesses and strength of India, I believe if I talk about weaknesses, the weakness is we don't have risk capital to experiment about these stuff. We don't have risk capital, and we don't have scalable manufacturing capability in some of the domains. For example, PCB manufacturing and assembly, and the battery manufacturing, right? That is like, that is one of the thing that we don't have. But I believe, like, risk, I mean, the capital is the biggest problem. Indian startups doesn't have capital as compared to, like, the US startups have, or the Chinese startup have, right? We don't have that. So I believe, like, that is what we need to solve first. We need to solve the money problem, right? If we have the money, we can, like, think about building that stuff, right? So how I think, okay, so that's the weakness. So I'll tell about the strength, what all strength we founders have in India. So in terms of strength, I believe, like, India has lots of intelligent and lots of intelligent builders, actually, lots of engineers and lots of builders, which US doesn't have, right? And another good thing is, like, we have English speaking engineers, English speaking builders, which China doesn't have, right? So what we can do is, why not? So the solution that I believe is, like, I believe, like, we should not be limited to just Indian market, right? If we have to solve the money problem, if we have to solve the capital problem, I believe, like, build in India and sell globally from day one. Build product that is a global product from day one, right? And I believe, like, we should not consider China as our competitor initially. Obviously they are, like, geographically, and if I talk, I mean, like, politically, they might be, they are our competitor of India, but I would say, like, take the benefit of that we can, like, get things manufactured there, right, efficiently. So that is what I believe, like, we should do, like, get few of the things manufactured there, and build the technologies in India and build it for the world, right? Because if we build it for the world, we can get, like, we can get capital from around the world, right? Instead of talking about few lakhs, we can raise capital in millions, right? So currently the narrative that we have right now is about robotics and AI, right? So I believe, like, there is huge opportunity for Indian builders to, like, work in that domain. So that is what I have been working on as well. So I'll talk about that a little. So just like, a couple of weeks ago, there was a company called as Fauna Robot. They were, like, acquired by Amazon. So probably Amazon want to build a Alexa kind of solution in humanoid form factor, right? So that is one use case which companies are building about. And just a couple of days ago, Manas AI is another, like, solution which is used to collect the data. So Meta acquired that company, right? So this is, like, just latest news. So I want to convey that, like, there are lots of opportunities, and people are building in this space, right? So I do believe there are lots of use cases in physical AI. So for example, you can deploy humanoid robots at restaurants, at home, like, taking care of elderly people, and lots of use cases in manufacturing as well. You can build dark factories, like completely autonomous factories, right? And the important point is, don't think about, like, if India doesn't have the, like, big market, so you are limited with that. So that should not be the, like, mindset. We need to change the mindset to, like, think about global. So build in India, sell the technologies, like, sell the products globally, right? That is what I wanted to, like, emphasize about. So, and robotics and AI specifically can be, like, very much powerful technology. Why? Because think about, if you know, like, Starbase is a place, like, where rockets are being built. So in US, companies are talking about, like, having a moon base, right, and reaching to Mars, right? but India, we cannot even think about that. So I believe with robotics and AI, you can have fully autonomous factories, fully autonomous power-based kind of factories. We can build rockets, and if you deploy humanoids, right, and AI, not just humanoid, other form factors of physical AI, that will allow the production to run 24/7. And if you can do that, you can have 10 years of work done in just 1 year. That would be very much possible, right? So if you give an example, Elon took around 25 years to reach the current state of space technologies that they have, right? And if you can deploy humans and robots, humanoids and AI and other physical AI solution, that would increase the efficiency a lot, and ultimately you can get lots of work done in very less time, right? So this is just one example. I believe that will definitely happen, and we should we need to think about those use cases. But to solve that, we need capital problem, right? To do that, we need to build up products in India and sell globally. So and by the way, that is what I have done before as well. With CypherRock, I built the product in India, and from day one itself, it was a global product. Even when crypto, the laws around India were not very clear, but I kind of with my co-founder, we were focused, and we were focused for a global market, right? So that's why I was able to solve the capital problem, and now I'm exploring new ideas. So currently in the robotics domain, the idea is to build a Android platform kind of solution for but for robots, right? What is Android platform? So basically you allow developers to build applications for your Android phone or Apple phone, right? And the developers own the use case. They monetize the use cases, and they are able to generate the revenue for that, right? So I want to apply the same idea for the humanoids and robot basically use cases. Why? Because there are lots of use cases possible, but you need to train robot to fulfill those use cases, and you will always be limited with some So if I talk about a startup, so I believe I would be limited with the data collection capabilities, and I won't be able to move faster, right? So I think allow developers make a very affordable solution and a very cheap solution, so that developers can afford it, and they build the entire use case, for cooking, for home use case, and for building so there are lots of use cases which are already existing in US and other countries, China's and all. But yeah, if you can have that solution, that would that will generate a flywheel for data problem that we currently have in humanoids. I'll quickly tell about the data problem, right? So why humanoids are not very capable today? So they are good in dancing, they are good in moving, but they cannot cook a food, right? Or they cannot use a particular tool to maybe to build this vehicle. So the reason for that is we don't have data to operate those tools, and that data is kind of you require sensor data, you require the physical data that you don't have on internet, right? For LLMs, you had entire internet to train LLM models. LLMs are basically the type of AI which is used by ChatGPT, right? For training LLMs, you had Reddit, Wikipedia, all the books you have, right? You can train LLMs using those data. But for robots, you need the physical data, and most importantly the sensor data, right? So I believe if you build such solution and allow developers to collect that data, you can solve those use cases very quickly. So that's the plan. And in India, I have just heard about a couple of companies who are working on the humanoid space, and and yeah, in coming days I'll be like posting more about it. So this is our first version of our humanoid. So we have like arms, and we have a working hand, right? And I'll quickly give a demo about like the hand, right? So I'll invite my team member, maybe Chirag can come. So he'll give you a demo about like using controlling the hand with AI actually. So if I talk about like this robot, as I said, like the most important part is to make it very affordable, and also like I don't want it to be like 100% depend on China. So currently most of the robots, the actuator used by them all over the world are Chinese made, right? So you will see like these actuators, these are completely designed in house. So I don't have to like depend getting parts from China, like and wait for several weeks or days. If there's any repair work required, I can like get everything built in India itself. So there's a like there's a BLDC motor and there's a PCB. PCB is designed by us in house, and this actuator is 3D printed. So this is like completely replicable, and this entire humanoid will be replicable. There are a few components that that I get from China, but those are like PCBs only, and that's basically manufacturing of PCB. There's no product that I'm dependent on for Chinese manufacturing. So you can see like a dummy model is wearing the robot. So idea is like this is the first version. The next version would be even more like easy to like use. So idea is like a human can basically attach their hand with the robot's hand, and they can like do any activity like picking a bottle and like picking place, like these kind of activities, and all that data would be recorded, and you can train the models, AI models, the VLA models using that data. Okay, I think there's some bug right now. We can like just solve the bug and like we'll get back again. Yeah.
Okay, thanks Vipul. And meanwhile the team sets up the demo for robotic hand. I'll just brief you about past 3 years with Mazout Electric, what we have done and what we are doing right now with robotics, AI and integrating it with the electric vehicles. So at Mazout we started with building electric cruising motorcycles for high-speed applications, not only targeting India but yeah, global markets. But as time passed on, we then started building on the electronics, core electronics, where we were building the motor controller, the BMS, the VCU, everything on a single stacked architecture. Because we realized that to solve a vehicle problem, first we have to go back to solve the software, to solve the firmware, to solve the electronics that goes into it. And then in the third year, like last year, we realized that a lot of power lies in the micro mobility segment. So I'll just switch to the other presentation. So I take this opportunity to present Zooty, autonomous Zooty for the first time in front of you all. So Zooty is a platform where a user such as a developer or a fleet manager can use vehicles to train the vehicle while it is being ridden. But why micromobility? Why low speed category vehicles? So micromobility has three main key features. One is that it's modular. You can stack on battery packs, you can stack on use cases to solve for patrolling, for solving for autonomous taxi operations, or solving for autonomous logistics, for example. Second thing, it's completely emission free, which you require if if vehicles are running inside your premises. And third thing, as compared to high-speed motorcycles or high-speed scooters, micromobility vehicles are faster to build and deploy. Now the motors, actuators that we are using in this is exactly what we use in robotics application to train any hardware system to perform a certain action which a human can do same as a human can do. So we are using servos, we are using BLDC motors, same that are used in robotics application to enable a rider to ride the vehicle and at the same time generate data using sensors, using the motors to enable autonomous operations, which the team will be showing you after this. So with Zooty, we are targeting three applications majorly. One is Zooty for autonomous patrolling. So India has ample large spaces with the size of like more than 20 acres and stuff. And imagine a vehicle doing 24/7 patrolling over there, taking streaming from the sensors, giving it to the CCTV panels and stuff, and taking actions of if a person who is not authorized to enter the premises is entering the facility, or for example helping in the guards or management with the utility staff, taking parcels from one place to the other. Second use case is of autonomous taxi. So for example, you book a Rapido and instead of a vehicle and a rider, just the vehicle arrives to you and you simply ride it and go to the location and drop the vehicle at that point. Third use cases of autonomous deliveries. You simply like booking a parcel service, the vehicle arrives to you, you open the box using the OTP, you put in your parcel, and without any human intervention it goes to the other end where it has to be dropped. So these applications we'll be targeting strategically where we have to enter in the Indian markets and strategically where we'll enter into the global markets with what application. Zooty is going to be the platform which will enable all these applications. So Zooty is mainly meant for the fleet managers where they can deploy certain units of it in their fleet on the road, and then they will get incentivized with the data they are generating and providing us for automating the entire vehicle. And second is for developers. So developers becoming a fleet manager or building their own vehicle platforms can utilize the actuators, the servos, the entire server architecture that we are using to make their own vehicles for their end applications. And as you know, we have seen from Vipul's experience that we'll be targeting global market from day zero itself. So I would like to invite Zayed, Saksham and Sarthak, who have been working day in day out on these Zooty, and they'll be showing you a demo of what we have built thus far.
So hi everyone, this is Sarthak. So I'm gonna show you how the whole architecture works for the Zooty. So in Zooty we have a central backend system in which we use our core server for the main activities of the Zooty, for the particular for grabbing the sensor data and grabbing the camera data, and it's all about its acceleration, RPM, and everything which we do in Zooty, which Zooty performs. Everything is done via MQTT broker, which is a backend architecture which we use to control the Zooty and present it on the our MZ01 app and the dashboard which is provided by Mazout. So as we come for the vision part in which the AI comes in. So for the vision, for the Zooty vision, we use the particular GPU server in which we use a YOLO model which helps us in the object detection part, and that particular object detection helps us to get the particular response for the further what Zooty will take the action next. So for that we use a VLA model. So the architecture works like once the Zooty grabs some pixels via its camera. So once the pixel reaches the GPU server, then we use that particular pixels to present on the YOLO model, and YOLO model gives us the depth and the object which is being detected, and that particular object and the output helps us to get the VLA response, which guides us what next action we will took. Like if someone comes in front of the Zooty and it's riding on some lane or something, and the action which it will be taking, it will totally depend on the VLA model. And of course we are not totally depending on the VLA, as some people says that we don't have to give the complete open hand to the AI. So we are also providing the fully control panel to the Zooty, in which a particular fleet manager will be assigned, who will be completely managing the Zooty via commands. And we will show the demo of that particular command portal, how we will grab the videos and how it's showing what's in the front and what's in the rear. And then we will show how we will control, like the Zooty manager or fleet manager who is sitting in the end of the system, how he will be controlling the vehicle, controlling the brakes, acceleration and etc. And further we also collect the data for the further training part of the AI, and further I will request my teammates to guide you through and deep dive in the tech part.
Hello everyone, my name is Zaid, and I was working on the software part of Zooty. So as my senior has explained the architecture, so this Zooty has camera sensors which will capture the frames which will be sent to the server. There will detect the objects and will send it to VLA and will get the output, and that's how this will run autonomously. Second case is when a fleet manager is controlling it through dashboard, wherein he will be shown the images of the cameras, frames, and the map of where the Zooty is headed, and he can control it through his keypad. The keypad intensity commands will come to the onboard computer, and there the intensity values will be then mapped to the voltage values and provided to the 60 volts DC motor. And also we have our own actuators which you have seen, through which will control the steering. Same logic will get the intensity values and map it to the angles and control the actuator, and also brakes. We'll use servos for that. Now we'll give you a demo of how the dashboard looks like and how remotely a person can control the Zooty. Alright. So as you can see, it is on from that time. This camera, this vision here, you can see it is also detecting people. Yeah. And also calculating the depth. And now he can run it remotely. Yeah. So this is how our motor runs. You guys can come here and see this tire is moving. That's the gear logic, as it is like, not attached to the ground. But believe me, this tire is working. So this is how similarly our steering also works. Later on you will see demo on the internet on how this is running through outside. Okay, now we don't have the space for it. So this is what the dashboard is. We'll have a forward gear through which we'll go forward, and we'll also have a reverse function. Yeah, you can now try reverse. Reverse. Good job. अभी भी नहीं चल रही. अच्छा. वही चल रही फॉरवर्ड.
रिवर्स.
हाँ. Yeah. So this is how it goes reverse. This tire is moving. So yeah, this was it. This is how this is the relay. As you can see, relay is a board through which it will act as a switch through which will control from software all of the small parts. These indicators or the horn, yeah, and the forward reverse gear. All of these things are controlled with relays and optocouplers inside. That's a complex architecture. I won't go in detail of that. But through this software and commands and MQTT and the relay board and optocoupler, we are controlling this remotely. So this was the whole architecture, and the mechanical side of things, which is much more complex. Saksham here will give you the technical side.
So hello guys, myself Saksham, and as the software team mentioned their part about the Zooty, how they are working, like I know it's very complex stuff and I don't even understand a single word of it. And so I'll be honest with you, I am currently dealing with the hardware side of the Zooty. My contribution is the design from the actuator point of view towards the design of the chassis, the design of the vehicle. It's designed a such way that in view of basically Indian roads and our application use cases like patrolling, the fabrication parts is also done myself. The cameras, all the cameras are placed such that it's having a proper depth. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
So guys, that was about Zooty. So if the humanoid demo is ready, we can switch to that. But yeah, would love to have feedback from you. Like, we want young developers from India itself to start using this as a platform and start building vehicles for their own use cases that they want to build. So the team will provide the entire APIs and the entire documentation for any developer in third year, fourth year, or just starting with exploring stuff to get on board and start developing their own use cases.
Okay, so Rakshit and Chirag will quickly give a demo. So this hand was completely built in-house, and we have a 5-fingered hand, and while to fulfill all the use cases, for example, operating a tool, or holding any cooking item, or different use cases to hold a pen, right? You need a very dexterous hand, and we will have touch sensor as well on top of it. And currently, you can grasp any object and hold it. And once this hand will work with once it is attached to the humanoid arm, the humanoid basically can pick and place object and can do entire stuff. The aim is build this entire vehicle with the help of a humanoid. But just that is just one crazy example, but yeah, it can do any kind of stuff.
Hello everyone, I am Chirag. I have worked with Cypher before, and now I am working on the software part of this humanoid robot. So our goal is to make a low-cost humanoid that developers can buy easily, and then they can wear it and train it and then sell their apps to our app store. So our idea is to make two AI models. One AI model will work on the humanoid robot itself. That AI model will have will have some skills that it can use, like opening the hand, closing the hand, opening a lid, unscrewing something, or grabbing a door. So that model will work on the humanoid robot itself, and the other model will run remotely on our cloud servers. It will be a vision model. So as you can see, this is our hand, and we have an AI attached to it that can guide it to perform some skills. So for example, I will open the hand. I can instruct this hand to perform some actions based on, I can basically send commands like open the hand, close the hand, do some actions, and then it will figure out what to do, what sensors to move, how fast to move, and then perform it here. So for example, I have this phone, and I want to So I instructed the hand to grab this phone. It estimated the size of the phone, and according to that, it grabbed it. Apart from that, it can also play stone, paper, scissors. Okay, so it showed scissors. So basically, this is a TLA model, tactile language action model, which will understand language, take inputs from the sensors, and then perform actions. So the hand liked the presentation. Hope you liked it too. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I'm Rakshit. I'm taking care of the mechanical development of this humanoid project. So as Vipul told you, it's a wearable humanoid to train it, and it's basically a playground for developers to train, experiment and deploy it in different use cases. So to execute that, our main goal was to make it extremely manufacturable, easy to assemble and easy to repair, and at the same time keep it very low cost. So that's why the key components that goes into making this humanoid work, we have adopted technologies that cannot only be assembled and manufactured locally, but any of the markets that we'll be targeting in the future. So for example, the heavy weight of any humanoid, the actuators, it's a completely 3D printed in-house solution. And it's paired with our custom PCB that can be that is designed by us, and which will help developers to take in any data and communicate with it. Apart from that, the hand that you saw is a 6 degree of freedom hand, again completely designed in-house and completely 3D printable solutions. And all the other components that are used inside it, for example, the servos or the motors, are also widely available. And the wearable humanoid chassis, it's again made of sheet metal, aluminum sheet metal, which is again a very, compared to other precision manufacturing methodologies, it is simpler to execute, and it's not. It can be executed in different countries that we'll be targeting in the future. So overall, the approach of the design is to make it easy to assemble and manufacture, and that's why we have used technologies which either if you want to scale it locally or globally, it can be executed there. So yeah, thank you.
So I hope you all liked the demos that we have presented to you. I think this is the first time which is happening ki we are having a lot of such technologies being demoed live in front of you all, and for the first time we have not we have kept our entire thing that you are seeing right now in stealth till today. And the reason was ki we wanted to keep away all the naysayers, all the people that said that won't happen in India, this can't be possible. But yes, the live demos is something which just proves that all wrong. So we'll be moving to the speaker sessions now. But I would love to also know about what each of us present over here is doing. So I would like ki second mic can be circulated around. So 1 to 2 line brief about what you all are doing, and then I think speakers will be better able to address if any questions or opinions you might have going ahead. Because I know some people who are our suppliers who have supported us with fabrication, which is very important, because orders of 1 to 2 units, you have to stop your entire production line to help us out. So yeah, a background profile of you all will help our speakers to address. So we can start from Mayank.
So Manjan side from
एक तो लाइन का brief दे दो बस.
My name is Manjan. I am from Pravaig Dynamics. We are in basically manufacturing for EV electric vehicles for armies and all in railway sectors. Also, we are in providing energy solutions in terms of BESS.
Welcome, Mayank.
Okay, hi, I'm Suchin Jain. I'm founder of iPanelKlean Solar Private Limited. We are a patented technology and we are a disruptive technology in solar. We are the world's first waterless washing machine of the solar panels, by which we are able to increase the power generation by up to 50% on an average and give huge benefits to the solar panel owners. So that's what I do. And let me thank the team here, which has done a fantastic job. And I heard the founder, he spoken a lot good about the things. First is the intent, after that only the, some product and results come. So if the intent is good, I'm sure you'll make a good product. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Satak, पीछे.
Hello, my name is Vishwajit Singh. I am a manufacturer based in Noida. We manufacture SPMs like conveyor belts and all. Like sir said, he's in solar panel manufacturing. So if you know IB Solar company in we have manufactured उनकी जो पूरी conveyor line है. So we manufacture conveyor belts and all testing machines वगैरह. Currently I am moving towards like robotics and उस side में robotics AI वगैरह. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, I am Swapnil. I am from Marbles Health. It's a medical health company which tries to make solutions for people who are suffering from depression, anxiety, OCD, somewhat like that. Because right now doctors are giving medicines and they are damaging other parts of the body. So we are building machines that can treat such disorders, so that they'd have to bypass the medicines and be independent and have a low side effect type of life. And I am the lead electronics engineer over here.
Welcome, Swapnil.
Approved Goel, Metafab engineers. We are into custom sheet metal fabrication. We make metal parts, chassis, small bits of plastic parts also, using stainless steel, aluminum, mild steel. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Hello everyone, this is Sheetal Yadav, and we are a full stack product development company. We support all the founders with ideas from mechanical, hardware, software, everything. And we have a small fabrication unit in our in-house, and we do support with a lot of latest tech that we are dealing with, and has been helping with working with Vapul and team. So yeah, nice to meet you all. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, myself Suchin Jain. I have my own electronic design house and I help my clients in developing as an extended engineering arm for them. And I have my own product line of data acquisition units which I am developing, and I mainly focus on products for MSME segments. So yeah, that will be all.
Cool. So I think we can move ahead with the next session.
So I'd love to invite Suchin sir to address the audience. So welcome, sir. Stage is all yours.
Thank you, Akhil, for inviting me. In fact, I met Akhil just last year, and today I got a message from him that he wants me to come here and speak about what I have done, and maybe talk about the problems that you are all facing. So I would love to interact and like to know where you are all wanting to be addressed, and there is some information that you might need. So I feel the core areas are into technical, commercial, and maybe development, the product, marketing, branding. I'm sure you funding. So you might be facing many issues like that, right? So if some of you can, just tell me what are the top thing on your mind, top 2-3 things on your mind, which is troubling you, which I think I can address in this, meeting. So maybe it will be helpful for everyone. So can some of you tell your problems that you're facing? You want us to address it? Yeah.
I guess right now in the market, we have a solution for funding, raising and all, and after that we have built something, products and all. But after at all, we have to go for the commercializing. We have at last the stage, being in startup or being in company, we have to sell our things. So, but we goes to face is like distribution. Because a company in the market having from last 20 years, 30 years, they have funding which everyone can raise, they have things, but what they having which we have to build is trust, the you can say goodwill, which we can't buy it. So what we face in terms of distribution, we have to build a distribution chain network, and for that everyone is facing a challenge, being a new identity in the company, I guess.
A very good question. Actually, we all are going through that, especially in the Indian market. So what happens? Why I say Indian market? Because abroad, people are more open-minded towards the new technology, whereas over here we want trust first. We're not looking at imagination. Okay, what can happen if we do this? Like I forgot his name. Vipul. So like Vipul mentioned, he's presented fantastic ideas here, like what we can do here instead of getting it done in China. Why don't we do it here? So that is the spirit we all need, and that spirit will come with acceptance in the market, right? So if you develop something, even if it is an initial product, even if it is not looking good initially, but it is performing some key parameters, which is a great development, right? So the forearms working, so it is not easy to do this, but that has to be recognized by the market, right? Who's going to invest in you, who's going to buy your product. So that is the acceptance, that level which has to come in, and then the trust which you mentioned definitely has to be there. But at the same time, some trial orders. We are, as a founders or developers, we don't need actually too much of investment, to be very frank. We can produce so much out of a few crores investment. Then I'm sure we can with a little more investment we can do much more, right? So one is that funding issue, and second is the trust issue. So the trust will come, working with the society and trying to know what the society needs. Incidentally, our society is too much on trust initially. So the initial products actually they take time to build trust. What future the foreign companies are doing, how they are developing trust. They are developing huge amounts of money over the years, right? So they have a process. They go through the process. They develop it. They prototype it. They test it. They put it in the market for testing. Then they get the feedback. Market research they do. Then the feedback comes. Then they modify the product, and it is a process which goes on. And once they become confident that this is the product which is acceptable in the market, and this is the market size, and then they go and launch it. But what happens over here? Over here, we are not following the process. Reason being, in the entire process, huge investments are required. Generally abroad what happens, the systems are already in place. So those huge investments, people already know, they have already faith in themselves to spend the money. And over here, the only faith comes is whether if I sell 10 of these vehicles, then only somebody will get a faith, okay, you are doing well. But if you have done one, then nobody is interested in you. So this is how our market is. So definitely, whatever may it be, that is how we have to live with it, and we have to find solutions around it, right? This is what I will say. So trust building definitely is important, and how you can do it is keep trying in the prototyping in the nascent stage, but definitely go back. As I think when I was talking to you informally in the beginning, you have given something for trial. It is not for all the founders possible to give, the product for trial. Like for even in my case, my one installation, basic installation cost minimum 10 lakhs. So I can't give it for free for trial, I want someone to invest in that before it is tried. So similarly, but still I have done it. I have still done such 10 installations in last 7 years, and I have got the feedback now. So my product is much more matured. This is how I have solved this problem. And of course, one has to, what happens if you see in the market, they are saying, founders are, telling fake figures. We are so huge, our valuation is so huge, and it is now the ball is in the court of the founders that they want the investors' money, as if we are trying to go and run away with the money. We are trying to spend our sweat here to build products, right? And the investor is trying to tell us like we are after the money. If we were after the money, we would have been doing some job and doing, earning 1 crore per month or something like that somewhere. It is very easy to do that today. It is not difficult. But the main thing is the society also needs to mature up. They need to understand the people who are working in this area. It is not easy for them to leave their cushy job and then come here and try all this stuff right from the beginning, from the basics. It's not easy. But then this is what the grit is made of. This is what the future is dependent on. Everything starts with a small idea and it becomes big later on. And giving my example on this, when I was working on the solar panel, I was just designing normal solar plants and I was installing it. When I saw that people are climbing up in the high heights, it is risking their own lives. It is not easy. And then somebody is going and climbing and trying to clean it because of the dirt, the loss is happening. So I also used to climb with them and see whether I can do it. If I can do it, I will send someone else to really go. If I can't do it, I will not tell them to climb up the roof. When I went there, I was scared. And then I said, how can anybody clean this? Then I just tried blowing away the dust with my mouth. And the dust got blown away. So that was my eureka moment. Okay, it can be blown away just by air, then why we need to clean it? That was a thought. Maybe it was a wrong thought, right thought, I don't know. But today we have a product. 7 years down the line, we have a product that does exactly that job. And it is like for the very first time we are able to clean them. So this is how you guys are also achieving, this is how every engineer and founder is achieving things, that we are trying it, we are conceiving something and delivering it. And that is that passion which needs to continue. That is what I can add value over here. So it is an ongoing job which we have to keep doing at it. There is no one final outcome. And it takes time. Even Panasonic and all these big companies, Sony, they have grown big. They have taken time to reach there. Even that first, Walkman, which had come, which will, when you go along and listen to the music, it was a revolution those times. So they perfected it over the years. So it takes time. It is not easy. We have to keep at it. I hope I have addressed. Yeah, thank you. So any more questions? So I would like to congratulate Vibhor. Yeah, there is anyone, please go ahead. बोलिए, अभी तो हम लोग एड्रेस कर सकते हैं, आपके कोई भी क्वेश्चन मन में निकालिए. दिस इज अ फोरम. वी हैव सम मोर टाइम विद अस. देखिए, जितना आप इंटरैक्ट करेंगे उतना मन से निकालना पड़ेगा. निकलेगा तो सॉल्यूशन आएगा. मन के अंदर ही रहेगा तो सॉल्यूशन आप ही को सॉल्व करना. बाहर निकलेगा तो इतने सारे ब्रेन सॉल्व करेंगे फॉर यू, राइट?
So, sir, I have a question. If you want to take it.
Okay, so like you said कि आपका एक installation में 10 lakh rupees का requirement था. So how did you solve that and go to like 10 pilots or 10
Yeah,
demos?
first of all, look, I was little blessed. I didn't have to really look for myself. So I was comfortable in my end. But only the other part is that I have to take care of the product and the development. So that is where I needed money because all my money was spent in developing the product. So when I go and install it, so how I solved it is I solved it in a way because I realized the investor, they want to see the sales, whereas I'm working on the idea. So now when the idea when the sale comes, then I will not need the investor, to be very frank. By that time, I have already solved all the problems. I probably will become investor myself, right, by that time. So how I did it is I tried in a basic MVP, a minimum viable product, and I did the design, I did the development, and then I applied for the grants. So incidentally, I would fail in every attempt. Wherever I will apply, I will get a response that no, you are not selected. So probably I tried for some 300 times before I got my first grant. So it took me 3 years before my first grant came in. And I think that by that time I had decided if this grant doesn't come in, I'm not able to work on it anymore. And the lockdown was there. All our money was spent and the sales were not happening and all these things were happening. Luckily that grant came by that time. So it was a survival, that was one thing. Secondly, through the grant we developed it further and then we won some international contest. It was a Capital Land Sustainability X Challenge of Singapore. We won it. We were in top 10 globally. So they also provided us some funds and the pilot projects, paid pilots. So we delivered it for them. And that's how the product actually was made by the customer. Because the feedback will come in and we will correct it, and by that time we will go there and figure out what is the problem at their side. For example, we had made a product which was on wireless, right? And that wireless, we didn't know that wireless at a 100-meter distance also will not work because there is a wall coming in between. So, and there were many walls. So I had to solve that problem. So it took me about 1 year to solve that problem. But today we have a technology which can, take any range and solve it anywhere. So we have done that. But it took a little bit of time to solving it. So, and another issue was in India, the power supply itself is very erratic. We thought our system will work properly when it goes to the client side. But then client will call us and say, sir, your system is not working. We'll be like surprised why it is not working. It was working all well here and now it is suddenly not working there. So we will rush and we'll find that his power supply itself is not coming, which is not checked. So we told him your power supply has to be okay. And then I said, this is too much of a cost, just checking for the power supply and coming back. Client is making us run. So then we came up with IoT and now we have a system sitting here. I know whether his power is there or not. He doesn't know, I know it. Because I have to, run my operations in a very, lean manner. Then there were other problems. So power is coming, but still it is not working. Then I was again shocked. Then what is the problem? Then I learned that there is one phase is not coming. So now I have a system which tells me whether all the 3 phases are coming or not. Then he says, no, sir, all the 3 phases are coming, but the system is still not running. Then there is a phase rotation happening somewhere. Then I had to solve that problem. Now my system is so rugged after testing in the field, whether there is internet signal there or not there, whether the power supply is there or not there, my system will not go bad and it will run as it is supposed to run. So that comes back when you do the field testing, right? So this is how we have achieved it over the last, 7-8 years.
Good, sir. Thanks for the insights.
Yeah, so I just want to also add what Vibhor has mentioned, couple of points, like he mentioned about global thinking. And so this was the debate that came up on LinkedIn when Piyush Goyal had mentioned about Indian startup and the Chinese startup. So I also mentioned during that time, there are 2 things required. One is that your, global ambition for the startups, and second thing is the patient capital, because we are made to believe by the investor, यार अपना दिल्ली बहुत बड़ा है, एक country के बराबर है, why you need to go beyond? So good, it is good for survival and initial stage, but then as a startup we have to think globally if you want to grow big and compete with those big companies and invest in the new and latest technologies. So unless your technology is latest, you can't be the global brand, right? So if you are doing something which is absolutely latest, cutting edge in your field, then it will make you global. Nobody can stop it, actually. People will be buying from you. Just because you are from India, it is not so. Because you are not investing in the right technologies. What we are doing here, we are doing most of it as a reverse engineering over here. He has done it, why can't I do it? It's not that. He has done it, imagine, he thought about it. How did he think about it? How did Sam Altman or anybody there who invested their billions of dollars thought about AI? They're working on it for last 30 years before we see it today. I was in engineering that time. When the AI was there, we used to work on the AI, and then people told me, yeah, don't work on AI, it has got a long future, बुड्ढे हो जाओगे तब करोगे, अब बुड्ढे हो गया अब AI, right? So AI it takes time for the AI, it has taken that much time for the AI to be here and delivers the results, fantastic. They have invested for 30 years. So the point what I am trying to make is that, so there are new technologies coming out from there. That is the core technology which they are developing. Even Mr. Trump had mentioned that India and Russia are a dead economy, right? And we felt very bad out here. That how can he say we are dead? हमारा तो growth rate इतना 7% जा रहा है, तो dead कैसे बोल सकता है? हम तो world के best है. But look at it from his point of view. We are 3 trillion, he is 33 trillion. And how is he 33 trillion? How? Because he is leading in the front end of technology. He is not, sitting on his laurels that I have made one Facebook, I will not make a Google. I have made a Google, I will not make a Tesla. I have made Tesla, I will not make any other company. It's not that. I will not make AI. He is disrupting his own industry. He is disrupting his own investment to be on the top of things. Are we doing that here? No. We are doing a catch-up here. So that is why we are not in a leadership position. The day we decide we are not going to catch up, we are going to be in the leadership position wherever we are, I think that things will turn around for all of us. That's all I just wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the powerful address. And now we'll have Suchin Jain from Pravaig Dynamics to present about some exciting stuff that he has been building with Pravaig since last few years. So Mayank, over to you.
So hi everyone, and thank you Akhil for inviting me in a room where basically great minds will be there. So it will be a pleasure to being here. So if I tell you about myself, I'm Mayank Jain. I'm from Pravaig Dynamics. What we are doing at Pravaig Dynamics, we are totally focusing on EVs. EVs in terms of basically who can solve the problems in a real world. So these are some products of ours, what we are providing in terms of to the army, to the industrial sectors, solving some of the problems of energy solutions in terms of lithium-ion batteries, to the you can say solar projects, IT solar projects, and also you can say the power park projects. So this is Veer. So this is our E-ATV. First time in India and all over the world with these specifications. We just got the award from the PM Modi for this. We are just taking POs from the Indian Army right now. We are having show this piece in 26 parade, Army parade, and all over the exhibitions we have shown in the previous year in terms of Army expos. So if you go with the features of the vehicle,
So we have a 90 kilowatt of battery, but we can also provide you the speed run up to, you can say, the 210 kilometers, which is a very quiet range in terms of people are using it, because people are using it in terms of Thar Desert, in Ladakh, in Siachen, and you can use it in terms of patrolling also, in war zone also. It was not a specified area. So that was a thing which we are providing, and the best part is it's an electric vehicle. So the vehicles which we are using in army right now, what we are using from Mahindra, we are using from Tata, and we are using from L&T. L&T is basically providing tanks and all, so these are not in a small vehicles. So the commercial part, or you can say the basically the mileage, if I go with the mileage things, if we go with the maintenance things, those are very expensive in terms of basically supporting the army parts. So that's why we came with the electric vehicle, so which we provide to the army. This is Ganymede. This is a fully designed electric bike for the armies. We are just providing these vehicles to the Thar and Ladakh only for right now. So these are the specifications of the you can say the bike. Then there are some products which we just make for the outer India company in terms of OEMs for them. And this is UGV. Right now for DRDO and VRD, we have a MOUs on which we are working in terms of making a UGV for them. So if you see the upcoming, we all are here for the upcoming future. We are not basically looking the past or present. We are all of, you can say, seeing the future in terms of technology, in terms of use case, in terms of what we can achieve in terms of just doing some R&D in a positive side. If you look at the tech from my right to left. So UGV is not about just, you can say, a body or a structure or a vehicle in terms of just a tactical thing, but you have you are not giving a human intervention in the war zone, or basically human intervention in terms of a very difficult situation in terms of patrolling. So we are making this in a autonomous vehicle, but we are also working this platform in terms of wheel also now. So that is our now new challenge. So this is the product we have made with the Maruti Suzuki Isuzu when they have the Isuzu team. So this is the product we have delivered to them. Then this is upcoming our product Defy. You have seen also this when we have launched this in Delhi. Then this is the main project which we are working right now, the battery. We have a subsidiary company, Pravaig Energy, on which we are working. We are working with lithium-ion batteries. We have 3 products, 5 kilowatt, then 261 kilowatt, then there is 5 megawatt. So in India right now, everyone is assembling. We are not saying that we are manufacturing for the batteries, but in terms of the cells which we are using or the procuring, we are not dependent on China. We are dependent on Taiwan, we are taking from Panasonic, we are taking from LGs, in terms of if there is a geopolitical change. So we don't have to see ourselves that we have to bow down in terms of just for the pricing. So these are the 3 products, 5 kilowatt, then there is 261 kilowatt, then there is 5 megawatt. We are just taking cells from the out of the India. We are not taking BMS. We are not taking any software help from any sort of the company in terms of the reliability and or you can say the warranty which we are giving to the battery. Because if anyone in the country, for example, why we are using lithium-ion battery for the solar things. Right now we are providing our best solutions to the NTPC energy. We are providing our solutions to the Dholera Park. We are providing in terms of, you can say, every PSUs we are looking. But they are what time period, what life cycle they are looking. 10 years, 12 years. But in the market right now, in India itself, there are companies which are procuring from China. They are procuring in terms of, you can say,
if I just give a 3,000 cycles, so it will be not sufficient if you drain for a 2 days, per cycle a 2 days. So how can anybody just go for it? So in terms of that, giving a good credibility in terms of cells, that is our main vision which we are providing to the market. Then this is one of the project in which I am personally working, and we are creating a UAV in terms of, and a drone also, in terms of which can't be jammed. So that is all about, you can say, the products and the things which the Pravaig Dynamics having. This is some of our clients on which we work. This is our team. These are the some you can say new things which lastly we are on the in media. This is the full factory. This is a unit in Bangalore in which we have you can say our own production line, our own procurement, and we all invite you if you want to facilitate over there. So previously we got an award from IDX for Veer. I just want to show you the video of Veer in So this is the video of this year when we showcase our Veer 3.0 in Indian Army. Fully electric, having the 400 to 500 kilometers of range in just 40 minutes of charging. So yeah, this is all about my company. Any questions regarding any product, anything and all?
So this, please go ahead. So this Veer product that you showed, it's deployed.
Yeah, yeah. Mala, it's a ATV, so every, you can say, we are taking orders from regiments and all.
How many units are live right now?
We can't have a number because just we have to do the auditing. So we in you can say a month or in some days we will release the proper numbers, whereas we have puts and all. In vehicle, the weight of battery is around, you can say, almost you can say 500 kilos. Yeah. In the field, no. It was not a swapping technology for right now.
One thing you mentioned, in 15 minutes start, you can get a full range.
No, 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Well, 80 to 90% you will get. 400 kilometers of range you will get in 40 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes.
How much kilowatt hour?
Charger. The battery, 90 kilowatt hours, this battery, but right now we are putting up 120 of kilowatts of hour of battery. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Well, thank you, Mayank, for addressing the audience. Now, I'd love to close this session with a thought that, you know, it's a thought going on around that AI is going to take jobs. So I would just like to give a founder's perspective on it, like what I think about it and how it's a completely bullshit statement. What I've seen, like even Suchin sir, when he was telling about his experience, like in field when he deployed his solar panels, the power fluctuations caused the product to not run. And that would have been a job of someone to go to the field, check what's working, what's not working, report, make a report, and then
put across a solution. Now with the deployment of IoT, the thing was automated. You could know कि यार क्या खराब हुआ है, वहीं से आप रिमोटली बैठ के उसको एड्रेस कर सकते हो, उसका जॉब चला गया. बट इससे क्रिएट क्या हुआ, आपका मल्टीपल जॉब्स क्रिएट हुआ, जिसने IoT बनाया, जिसने IoT डिप्लॉय किया और जो IoT को मॉनिटर कर रहा है और फिर इवेंचुअली जो इसका सोल्यूशन प्रपोज करेगा. 4 जॉब्स क्रिएट हुआ इन प्लेस ऑफ अ पर्सन हु वुड बी ट्रैवलिंग एंड वुड बी टेकिंग मेकिंग रिपोर्ट एंड गिविंग इट. अभी क्या करते हैं, नेक्स्ट स्टेज पे चलते हैं. IoT पे हमने ऑटोमेटिक एक सिस्टम लगा दिया. IoT अपना रीड करेगा क्या डेटा आया है, वो ऑटोमेटिकली डिटेक्ट करेगा इशू क्या है, अपने आप ही रिजॉल्व कर देगा. आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि कोई इशू आया था, मतलब लॉग्स होंगे बट इट विल बी वेरी सीमलेस. अभी क्या हुआ, जो IoT मॉनिटर कर रहा था उसका भी जॉब चला गया. लेकिन इससे क्रिएट क्या हुआ, आपके 10 फील्ड्स पे आपको ऐसा टेक्नोलॉजी बनाना है कि वो 10 फील्ड्स पे सीमलेसली रन कर रहा है. तो उसके लिए आपको अगेन आपको हार्डवेयर इंजीनियर चाहिए, आपको उसके लिए सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर चाहिए, आपको उसको ट्रेनिंग मॉडल्स जो मॉनिटर करेगा उसके लिए इंजीनियर चाहिए. सो इट्स क्रिएटिंग मोर जॉब्स आई बिलीव रादर देन टेकिंग जॉब्स. I would say it is taking off redundant jobs which were not required at all, just because of limitation of technology or because of limitation of certain things in the pipeline. Now those are being removed and इससे क्या हो रहा है, हमारी बाउंड्रीज एक्सटेंड हो रही है. पहले हम एक चीज टारगेट कर सकते थे, अब हम 10 चीज कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे हम पेट्रोलिंग फॉर अ सोसाइटी बिल्ड कर रहे हैं. एक सोसाइटी के अंदर अगर एक व्हीकल हमने लगा दिया है जो कि ऑटोनॉमस पेट्रोलिंग कर रहा है, तो क्या हम 4 गार्ड्स की जॉब ले रहे हैं? No, it's not that. It's not that. It's that कि हम उन गार्ड्स को और फैसिलिटेट कर रहे हैं कि वो बेटर वे में सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड कर पाए. We'll have back-end engineers, Mazout के या फिर किसी और कंपनी के who will be managing that fleet, who will be maintaining the data, who will be maintaining the data for the patrolling, data for the vehicle training. So what I believe is, in short, is that it's going to create more skilled jobs and take the unskilled, unrequired, redundant jobs out of the picture. So that's all from my side, and like it's an open mic now. If anyone wants to speak, if anyone wants to take the stage or share their thoughts, so we'd love to hand over the mic.